Haven't you heard? A queen is on the rise. Wear a mini hat so she can open up your eyes. Join the convo, the podcast is lit. Cop a penny to the spice up your fit, yeah. She's a producer, you can vibe to a remix. She do the most, but she ain't come to do the least. Whether it's the combo or the music you want, find it all here at TiTiTalks.com. Come and stimulate your mind with TiTi Talks. Promise you'll never fall behind when TiTi Talks. The knowledge you're seeking you can find when TiTiTalks.com. So come on and get with TiTi Talks, yeah.
Peace family, it's your girl TiTi from TiTi Talks. I'm here in the ATL with my homegirl Omi. Hey! The creator, the founder, the owner of the whole IWA lifestyle. And she just got a new spot in Atlanta. And I wanted to give her a chance to come on, showcase the movement that she's got going on. There's been a lot of popping things that have been happening in 2019. Yeah. 2019 kind of been the IWA year, right?
It's been live, lit.
That's what's up.
Live, lit, both.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So what else been going on? I know you just did New York Fashion Week.
Mm-hmm. We've been busy. So we had January to do a little bit of planning, and then February we hit the ground running.
Wow.
In the beginning of February, first we did a fashion show here during Super Bowl weekend. And that was fantastic. Kind of gave us an opportunity to, really we did one fashion show in 2017 when we launched, but we hadn't done one since. And so to, be able to come back out and showcase our clothing and make sure that we're kind of like staying on the scene, get everybody's adrenaline running again towards IWA. So that was exciting. We left there and then went to Miami for Egg Bay Festival. And that was exciting. That's the second year that we've done Egg Bay Festival. We've handled the fashion show there. And then we left there and went to New York Fashion Week. So to say we were tired, we were tired.
Oh my goodness.
But it was amazing. It was really amazing. We still have footage that we're going to be showing, content that we're going to be producing to let people know what was happening there. On our Instagram and Facebook, we have a little bit, that we started putting together to kind of put out for people. But we were just excited to have the opportunity to be in the space.
Right.
You know what I mean? I happened to be at the right place at the right time. Talking to someone, he was like, "Hey, you wanna come to New York Fashion Week?" And I was like,
"Yeah,
you're talking crazy." Shout out to Michael Reed. And then he was serious. He gave us an official, he looked at our designs and gave us an official lyric.
Wow, that's dope. That's dope. I was so excited to watch that on social media. Let them know where they can find y'all on social media.
Yeah, so on Facebook, it's IWA Lifestyle. And on Instagram, it's the IWA brand, IWA brand. And then online, our website is www.iwalifestyle.com.
Love it, love it, love it. And y'all saw me during my promo video. If you was paying attention during my promo video, and I told y'all on the last podcast, if you haven't seen my promo video, for shame, you need to go on TiTi Talks on YouTube and you need to see it, or you can look for it on social media. It was really dope. But I had on a couple of things, but one of the shirts that I had on, particularly in the beginning, when you see me doing shrine work in the beginning, I had on this shirt that says Elbow Works. Elbow Works.
The official hashtag of IWA Lifestyle.
Right. Does elbow work?
Absolutely, elbow works.
All day. All day. All day. And it's just like any other type of spiritual discipline. It's about sacrifice.
Absolutely. Which is what elbow means.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It means sacrifice.
Right.
And when you sacrifice your time, your energy, your intentions, your resources into something in particular, it's gonna manifest.
Absolutely.
It will.
Absolutely.
It will.
And I mean, that's what IWA has been for us. It was like a thought. And when you have a thought about, it would be nice if we had this. Why don't we have such and such?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you're like, because God is waiting on you to do it. So
for
go and do that. But that's really that's how it manifested, from doing EVA and, really saying, okay, this is what we want. This is what we want to see. This is how we want to see it. I mean, that's what I think of how we got to Fashion Week. Kind of being a very small, very new designer. And somebody just being in the right place at the right time.
That's beautiful.
EVA works.
I love it.
For sure.
It makes your life so serendipitous. You know what I'm saying? We just keep running into people in situations that just are really pleasant and positive for your
Right.
life, and that's what it's all about. So talk a little bit about what IWA means, because I know that it's kind of the layer for your company is kind of layered. So talk about the several layers of what IWA means and IWA lifestyle.
So IWA is a word, it's a Yoruba word that means character. So when we first started out, IWA was actually an acronym. Like, so this is just a little bit of history, right? So we started out, there was my friend of mine, Summer Sibley Brown. She lives in the Virgin Islands. She's one of the team members of IWA now. But what we were really talking about was being hippie, being bigger girl, and not having clothes. Right.
Luscious.
You know, and not having clothes that fit your body.
Right.
You know, and so always having to, I mean, I sew, and I have sewn for myself, and didn't think of myself as sewing for other people. People would ask, but, you know, I was running other businesses, doing other things. And then we were like, you know, we are getting older. We have a style that's unique. You know what I mean? We want to be able to look good and feel good in our clothes. We should create a clothing line. And I was all for it, because I'm all for Black business and I'm all for Black excellence. So anything that's going to take us further, I'm like, okay, let's do that. So we started working on it, and then I don't think any one of us realized what it really took to create a clothing line. We knew nothing.
It's a lot, isn't it?
We knew nothing, but it was in my spirit. Like,
Right.
it was. I was like, I want to do this. I don't know why I want to do this so bad, but I really want to do it. And so it initially, when we came up with the name, it was an acronym for Inspiring Women's Apparel. And so we were riding with that. And then by the time, so this was 2013. Now, mind you, we didn't launch till 2017. So there was a whole several years of just grit, work, learning, making a whole bunch of mistakes, talking about it, visualizing, and then finally got to the point where we realized that what this is, we thought it was a clothing line. This isn't a clothing line. What we're really talking about is inspiring people to be their authentic self, to be able to talk about character of the Black community, really of Black people throughout the diaspora, and what that means to us, and who we are, and how we begin to really change the narrative about how we get to our higher self. So all of that, so 5 years of conversation is what created us from moving from Inspiring Women's Apparel to IWA Lifestyle, and to understanding that this was really a brand. And then every time I say that, I'm like, you know, we've created a brand, and we've created a brand. You know what I mean? Even when we started working on the logo, even the way that came about, once again, Ebo works. You know, we happened to be in the right place at the right time, at the right person who understood our vision and who came up with this. And the moment we saw it, we were like, damn.
I love
it. That's it.
It's perfection.
That's it.
I'm really big into like visual media. Love visuals. And so that logo and the symbolism behind it, and first, and even beyond that, like even if you're not even super familiar with the symbolism, it's really beautiful and elegant to look at. You know,
I love it.
And that's how you want your brand to be represented. You want to know that you want it to be elegant, you want it to be beautiful, you want it to be streetwear, you want it to be nighttime apparel, you want it to it's like it's really flexible.
And you know, when it was created, it was still, and this is to tell you how small initially my brain was working, because we created it and people were calling it the vagina bird, right? They were like looking at it. They were. And they were like, okay, well I can see it's a woman's thing. It's the vagina bird, you know. We were like, okay, that's cool.
I wasn't ready for that.
And then, sorry. And then and then we started wearing it, and brothers would walk up to me like, okay, why where's my shirt? And I was like, well, the line is for women. They're like, why? I need to be inspired too. You know what I mean? And I would totally rock that.
Hello?
And I didn't think that men would. And then when I see brothers wearing it, I'm inspired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I see that. Like, because I'm thinking, wow, like you think you know, and you don't know shit. You know what I mean? You don't have a clue.
We love to see the brothers looking good.
Yes.
I'm here for that.
Yes.
I'm here for the brothers looking good and elegant and spiffy and sharp and all of that.
So I mean, you were saying like to talk about the layers of it. So yes, we do have our, we have the brand, we have the the IWA bird, we are talking about character and African people and the way in which that shows up. But there's also 5 pillars. So the social movement behind IWA is surrounded by these 5 pillars. And we haven't had a whole lot of opportunity to talk about the 5 pillars, which is why I'm really excited to do TiTi Talks, to at least be able to get the message out and begin to get the message out. Now that we're in this new space, we can dedicate, we have time, staff, resources dedicated to pushing IWA in a very intentional way.
Dope.
And so there's 5 pillars. The first is alignment. The second is awareness. The third is authenticity, accountability, and achievement. And each one kind of tells the story of how you get from one space to the other. And what we really want to do is be able to tell the story of how Black people, African people have transcended, and been able to achieve their highest destiny, achieve their greatness. And with telling those stories and with continuing to have those conversations, we begin to change the narrative, because now we're controlling our own shit. Which you don't see enough, because when you have a lot of brands that are specifically, they're not for us.
Right.
They're not telling our stories.
Not at all.
So even with the whole thing that came out with Gucci and that kind of stuff, when we start talking about branding and what their intention for us, we already know what it is.
Right.
So that's no surprise.
Correct.
I saw the ad and I was like, I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? I'm not surprised.
I'm surprised that people are surprised.
Right. Exactly. That's my surprise. Is that you're surprised when we already know the truth, and until we change the narrative, until we're in control of our own narrative, we can expect things like that to keep happening.
Yeah, that's why I'm always trying to represent all of the the independent brands out there, because we have them. There's so much stuff going on. HBCU Culture Shop, dope. They're doing a lot of really cool vintage HBCU wear.
Nice.
And they're young, represent. Yes. It's all HBCU up at all times. But so I'm really excited to be able to use my platform to be able to talk about it, because we just really need the reach.
Absolutely.
We need the reach.
Absolutely.
We need to be able to have a lot of ears and eyes who are actively looking. And people got to do their part too. People be lazy. You know what I'm saying? You got to go. If you're looking for something, I guarantee somebody in the world is doing it.
Absolutely.
It's something you're looking for. You can find, all you got to do is you can hashtag anything.
It's true.
I'm trying to do this animation, right? I needed an animator. I just went on Instagram, hashtag Black animators.
And it just came
And
up.
just hundreds of Black animators came up, and all I had to do was just go on. Your Instagram page is your commercial.
Right.
Okay, that's dope. I don't like their style. I don't know. Use your intuition. Boom. I found one sister. She didn't get back with me. I found this brother. He's fantastic. You know what I mean? And you can do that for anything. So you can literally just hashtag Black fashion, hashtag African fashion, whatever. Ankara, whatever.
And that's our responsibility. Like you said,
Yeah.
sometimes we're just lazy. We'd be like, oh, this doesn't exist, but we haven't even tried
Haven't
yet.
even tried to look and see.
We haven't even tried yet. So that's our responsibility to take that seriously and to make sure that we're going out of our way. Really, go out of your way to support other, to support your own, to support your community.
You have to make it a habit.
Community, you have to.
You have to make it a habit to go and look for that stuff. And don't be complaining about stuff be expensive and stuff or whatever. You don't know the type of overhead people have to carry just to bring stuff to the community. You know what I'm saying? Do the best that you can do. Help out some folks. And the stuff be fly. That's the thing.
For sure.
It be fly, man, But I tell you where the majority of my money is going. The vast majority of my money is going to go back into the community that actually cares about me.
Right.
Who wants to see, who has the same values as me, and not just me, but myself and the people that I represent. You know what I'm saying? It's all about community.
Right.
It's all about community.
And then you don't have to worry about, or be concerned about whether or not someone understands your story or understands how to represent your narrative, because they're a part of your narrative.
They are my narrative.
Boom. Right.
All of that. So you talked a little bit about the history of EY, what is like your future vision for EY? What is EY looking like in the next couple of years?
Man, okay, so we have there's, a really great, in my other life, I'm also a business planner, and a business developer and a nonprofit developer. So there's a whole really snazzy business plan for EY. And in the right now, so this is a part of it, having our own space, right? So if you've known me, then in the last 12 months, I'm like, we want our own space. I don't know when it's coming, but we want our own space. So to be talking to you in our own space,
hey,
like check, on the list of things to do. So now we have our own space. We have the ability to have our own boutique.
Nice.
So that's one of the things that we're going to do within the space is to have a boutique. But a majority of the things that we want to do are online because we want to be able to reach. Atlanta is our home, it's our headquarters, but we want to be able to reach out, of course. So we'll still have things. A lot of what we're doing is going to be happening online. As far as selling the online retail, we'll be able to get that going. There's some things that we need to smooth out with the website as well. Right. So we're working on that. In 2020, we're going to have our first EY Lifestyle Conference.
Ooh, nice.
Which is a big deal. We're going to have it around in June 2020. So June 11th is actually my mother's birthday. June 10th. Is my mother's birthday. My mother passed on, so she's a huge part. When we talk about alignment, we're actually talking about ancestral alignment.
Sure.
So in having that conversation, like her spirit she was actually the person who encouraged me from the very beginning. She was like, you don't have to work for anybody, which is very interesting because she was a teacher her whole life, so she wasn't an entrepreneur, but she saw that in me. As soon as I came out of college, she was like, you shouldn't work for anybody. And I was like, lady, what are you talking about? I just got my little degree. I'm about to, go find me a good job. And that did not work out.
Yeah.
She was absolutely right. And so there's I want to continue to honor her spirit in everything that we do.
That's
and
beautiful.
So during the summer of 2020, we're going to have our first EY Lifestyle Conference. Where it will be Black men and Black women coming together to talk about how we live these 5 pillars. And so we're bringing different entrepreneurs together, different brands that represent the movement and what we're trying to do. To be able to come together. So we'll be talking about lifestyle, eating healthy, the way we dress, the way we talk to each other, the way we communicate, parenting. Like it's going to be, it's going to be a real lifestyle conference. And so we're looking forward to that.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You're going to have to come back on the show and talk about that.
Yes.
As it gets closer, for sure.
Yes. Like that's because, again, what people have seen so far is clothing. You know what I mean? So I think I don't want, let me say what I do want. I want people to know that this is a brand, right? And not just get fixed on one portion of it. The clothing is a way to represent the lifestyle. So that's why we put lifestyle behind it so people can understand that we are talking about the way in which we live our life. And then, there's also a component that we're going to be growing, which is membership to EY. So having membership to EY will not only give you a discount at EY and EY events, but we're also partnering with other organizations and other businesses with like minds, so that you can also take advantage of discounts there.
Nice.
So we're building what that looks like and building that network so that we can continue to support one another.
That's what's up. I love it. It's holistic.
Absolutely.
It's a holistic way to incorporate community values and entrepreneurship and recycling the dollars and all of that.
And so let me say this, and being African.
Hello.
Like we're going to be very unapologetic about the fact that we're African first.
For sure.
You know what I mean? That's who we are. And so the life we live, the way in which we talk, communicate with each other, parent, the way in which we make decisions, the way in which we're in community together, it's going to be it's African. So anytime you come to an EY event, expect just that.
I love
that's what it is.
So y'all have a new space, like you were talking about with the boutique. Can you give them the address?
I can actually tell you the address.
What's the address?
Get out of my mind, TiTi. It's 1541 Ralph David Abernathy. So that's in the Westview corridor. It's across from the Good Hair Shop, which has been one of our long-time supporters. Hey, Kiyomi. As well as Slutty Vegan is right around the corner as well.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, this is a great place to be.
I've been trying to get there, but I heard the line is kind of off the chain.
The line is long, and, you know, she's another black woman entrepreneur.
I love it.
I mean? So definitely.
Yeah, hustling.
We're just waiting the line. It'll be all right. You know what I mean?
We hustling.
Absolutely.
We are hustling.
I hear there's times that the line is not as long.
I'm going to get it together and get out there one of these days.
Yeah.
I love it. Yo, talk about personal styling. Talk about that. Because I think that's an interesting aspect of the fashion portion of IWA lifestyle. Yeah.
So for us, you know, your personal style comes from it's from the inside out, right? It's the whole thing about IWA. So, you know, we're talking about character. So how does your character come from the inside and be able to be shown on the outside? So we are starting to work with some really amazing stylists. People who just look, they style me. Okay, that's not. They let me know, don't wear that. This goes a little bit better with your personality. So we have Aquia who came on recently.
Oh, nice.
She's gonna help style. We also have another stylist, Summer Sibley Brown, who I was talking about. So they were instrumental in making sure that the looks on the runway, you know, so we designed the pieces, but then, you know, making sure that the looks come together well. And so that's a part of what we're going to be offering in whenever you come into an IWA store. Because look, the way I'm saying that, because there's going to be more than one.
Come on now.
It's going to be more than one. So when you come into the IWA store, or if you're a member of IWA, then you can receive personal styling. So it's not just about, you know, how do you want to look and how do you want to feel. A lot of people struggle with that sometimes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I know that this skirt matches this shirt, but you know what I mean, I want to feel beautiful in it.
Right.
So it's really about being able to know your personality and sometimes push the envelope. You know what I mean? Even with what you wear to work, and how you go from, you know, the office space to you know, a nightclub or to a dinner meeting. You know what I mean? How can you change that up, and how can you get the most use out of, because we do custom pieces. So, you know, if you're gonna pay for a custom dress, or you're gonna pay for a custom skirt, then you want to get the wear out of it, and we want to help you do that.
Absolutely.
You know, and we want you to be, you know, investor. You know what I mean, in yourself. So feel good about yourself. How can you wear that skirt multiple times? How can you wear that dress different ways? We have some belts and some accessories and things that we've already come out with, but in production, we know that we need to show people how to use them.
Right.
So if you come in, then we'll show you, you know, how to work with that, and then you get a feel and a vibe for who we are. Right. Because there's a culture to IWA. You know, so when you walk into an IWA event, or you walk into an IWA space, there's a particular culture that you will experience, and we want people to have that as well. Something else that'll be in the store that just came to mind. Again, it's a lifestyle brand. So Elite Designs, Laura Mustafa. She's been a business partner of mine for a while. She's also, so Elite Interiors is a side to her brand. So her pillows and her home decor will also be in the store as well.
What?
Yeah, we're doing big things too.
Y'all ain't playing.
We're not.
Y'all not playing in the streets.
We're not.
And
we're coming hard, and we coming correct.
We have to, because everything depends on it. Our ability to. We got to come correct. We got to come so that we can be sovereign.
Yeah. I like that word.
So we can, and it sounds sexy too.
I like that word.
It sounds real sexy. But what it means is that we're able to be ourselves in our own space, support each other. We don't need outside assistance or interference. We just
show up as yourself.
Sorry, I was waiting for the siren to pass.
Oh,
it's
you
good.
Listen to everything.
Yeah, I do. Well, I have mine a little bit louder. Okay, it's loud, so I can hear everything.
But you know, it's funny that you said that because so with authenticity, it's something I'm really excited about talking about. Those 5 pillars.
Let's run all of them down.
Okay. So I won't. But just to make the point about authenticity, like a lot of times for us, and talking to, I work with a lot of women especially. That's kind of who sometimes will gravitate towards me in like classes and things that I've taught on business. And so what I've realized is, like, you know, I'll come in contact with people who are like, okay, I have a job. I have a 9 to 5. I want to work for myself. I don't know what that looks like in between. When I'm at this job, I feel like I have to become another person. You know what I mean? I have to be somebody else so that I can fit here, especially people who are committed to African culture, right? And they feel like they have to completely be a different person.
Right.
You know? And so that piece on authenticity is us being able to show up as ourselves all the time, 100% of the time. So first to know who you are, right? So that you can show up as yourself and then be supported for who you are.
Absolutely.
You know? But yeah, I'm just excited to be able to talk about it because I don't think that we have enough dialogue about character, about you know, our life, our destiny, like where we're headed. You know, we get fixed on capitalism and money and even on like working, right? Grinding, you know, making sure that we have what we need, or making sure our family has what we need, which is all very important. But we forget about the interpersonal piece.
Absolutely.
That keeps us, that will continue to help us to be able to achieve that, you know, because for the most part, sometimes we don't even know how to talk to each other, right? We can't appreciate one another. We can't have dialogue and conversation with one another because there's so much rooted pain. So, I mean, I know it's important conversation for us to have.
Absolutely.
And I want us to be able to have it.
Yeah, and it's good to be able to have a brand that can help us represent what's happening internally, like on the outside.
Right.
You know, so we can show a lot of the positive things that are happening in our community. Because we hear a lot of the negative things.
Yeah, they'll be first to put those out there.
Absolutely. The negative stuff always be there.
Because somebody else is controlling the narrative.
Exactly. That's why TT be talking.
Yes.
I got my own
TT
narrative.
talks. I say.
I got my
To
own
the own
narrative. First of all, hold on, hair flip.
I love it.
I got my own motherfucking narrative. Now what?
Say.
Anyway.
I say.
But it's this is what it's all about. So that's why I'm super excited to talk to people and let other people come in. I have the coolest conversations with people who are doing like really dope, cool, progressive things. And so I appreciate you for coming on the show.
Yeah, I'm like super excited to be here.
Oh my gosh, turned up.
I'm like super nervous too. I was like,
shouldn't be.
All this shit.
Shouldn't be.
You know, just being able to really just have a good conversation. Like you said, it's like we on the porch talking. So.
We on the porch. We were just
Cool.
on the porch.
We were. We had a
If
great
my
time.
mics didn't pick up so much, we would be on the porch.
It is a nice porch. It's a dope porch.
I
like
love it. I was feeling it. You know, I'm
Yeah.
from the South, so porches, you know, mean a lot to me in so many ways. Porches are important piece of architecture.
Yeah.
It's actually a piece of African architecture.
Really?
The porches.
I know.
African people brought porches to this part of the
We
world.
did a lot, and I can believe it. I know
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We brought it. It's an extension of the living room to invite people in. You know? But anyway, I ain't getting into all that because y'all ain't ready.
They gonna be ready. They gonna be ready.
Y'all ain't ready, Jifa? Don't laugh at me.
So let's talk some more about the pillars. I started it.
Oh, heck yeah. All that did just happen.
Right.
I'm editing all that.
Right.
Yes.
So
Run these pillars down.
all right. So first pillar is alignment, right? And then people's first question is like alignment with what, right? And so when we talk about alignment in specific, we are talking about as Black people being aligned with our ancestors, right? Is with what we know or what we're clear about is no matter what you call God, you know, you can call God by many, many different names. But as Black people, our ancestors' blood runs through our veins. And it's important that we venerate them, know who they are, understand who they are, and learn from their lessons and have them as a part of our spirituality.
Absolutely.
So Christian, Buddhist, you practice African traditional religion, it matters not. What we're talking about is the fact that you have African ancestry. You should be very connected to your ancestors. Who were they? What did they do? How have they influenced where you are, you know, and where you're going? And to be able to call on that energy to kind of propel us forward.
Absolutely. Because you're them.
Period. As my daughter would say.
You are them.
Right.
And so who they were is a whole lot about who you are and what you do. You know what I'm saying? I come from families of educators, farmers, people in healthcare,
Right.
midwives.
Right.
And here I am, an educator, a doula.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Doing healing medical stuff. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff, farming, growing vegetables and stuff.
Yeah.
That's ancestral.
That's who we are, exactly.
That's all ancestral.
Exactly. My mother was she made clothes. People were actually jealous of her for a long time because she would make her clothes and they would think that we had all this money, right? Because my mama was fabulous.
Hello.
Like, she was a big woman, but she looked great all the time. But that's because she made her clothes and she made me learn how to sew. And my grandmother made clothes also. So again, that's why I told you, like, there was something in me, like, I don't know why I want to do this so bad. But I know that it was ancestral. You know what I mean? This is something that, was in my veins and in my blood for me to do. So it even when I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much, I have so much to learn, up the learning curve of things,
right.
Like there was something definitely, or someone's pushing me forward to keep it going.
I love it.
And I want us to be able to understand that, because for some strange reason we mix up ancestral worship with a whole bunch of other things, or we're just venerating our ancestors with a whole bunch of other stuff. And I think people need to understand that when we have that alignment, it's that alignment with them that puts us on path to our destiny.
Absolutely. Facts. Yeah. Hashtag facts.
Yeah. So that's the first A, is alignment. So we're talking about ancestral alignment. And so from there, then we can talk about, now that I'm aligned, I can talk about, so my spirit is aligned with my ancestors. There's like an awareness that comes about, because you can't align yourself with your ancestors and be clueless.
Absolutely not.
It doesn't. I haven't seen it happen like that. So now there's an awareness that you have of who you are and what you should be doing. You become aware of, and sometimes people just they'll be like, I don't know what came over me. I just felt like I should. This is what I should be doing. I just said the same thing. Like you may not be able to pinpoint it, but that becoming aligned allows you to become aware of you. Right? And so now that, I'm aligned, I understand my ancestors, I'm become aware of who I am, how I want to operate in the world, right? Maybe even become aware of what my destiny is, like what I should be doing with my time, with my energy. Now I can be authentic, right? Because before I was showing up as, Adrian in the day and, TiTi in the afternoon,
right.
And just having to be, and sometimes we do have, like, even as African people, we have multiple names.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you taking off, having to put on and take off a mask so that you can satisfy someone else's thought process of who you should be.
Right.
I think it was you that posted. Was it you that posted something? I don't remember who it was, but it was somebody that posted something about, they said they stepped on something. And then they looked at the bottom of their shoe, and it was like giving a shit about what somebody else thought about them. You know what I mean? And I just thought that was so funny, because we sometimes we put so much into what other people think about who we are.
Right.
And so then we lose track of who we know we are, right? So that authenticity piece to me is like super, super important. Like I'm always talking about like the authentic self. And once you really become aware of who you are, let me help you. I will support you being exactly who you are, whoever that is. You know what I mean? Like I would like to, like I feel like when we get into a relationship with each other, we're constantly like, we meet our representative. How you doing?
Hello.
How are you? Right, this is my representative that you're meeting. And then it'll be like, 6 months later, 2 years later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You start peeling back layers,
yeah,
that you learn who people really are.
Yeah.
And one of the things I realized for us as Black people is sometimes we don't know who we are.
Exactly.
Right? Because we're taught that we have to be these. I'm different at home than I am at church.
Right.
Than I am at school. Than I am, when I'm with my girlfriends. I am when I'm with my man. When I'm around my children. Like it's all these different people that you have to be. And we are in favor and want to support people being their authentic self. So, and what I'm talking about, those first three spaces, alignment, awareness, authenticity, that's all self-work. I mean, people can help you and we can have conversations around it, but people have to be willing to do their work.
Ooh, that's a big one.
do your work.
You gotta
and I'm
shovel
gonna do
your own
mine.
shit,
You
baby.
know what I mean? I'm gonna do mine. I'm gonna go in the corner
All
and
day.
cry. You
All
know what I
day.
mean? While I'm doing it, it's all good. But
Come on, y'all.
we want to. I mean, that's where the empowerment and the inspirational piece comes in.
Absolutely.
Like, how can we inspire more people to do your work? Own
Shovel
your shit.
your own shit, baby.
Hey,
You got to shovel your
That
own.
should be a t-shirt.
Can't nobody shovel your shit for you, baby.
That should be a t-shirt.
Listen.
But look, that's real shit. I mean, it's real talk when you know you have people that are like, you know, the world is against me. Nobody likes, you know, I can't get ahead. I don't know what to do. You know, I don't think that God brought us to, or our ancestors, none of them wanted to see us suffer or want to see us suffer. That's not, I don't think we came to this world to suffer.
No.
I don't. I think we're suffering as a result of not doing our own work.
Yeah.
And I think the more we put into doing our self-work, the more, you know, the more in alignment we become with, you know, our destiny.
Absolutely.
So those first three pieces, that's the first part of the conversation. So now that I'm authentic, and now that I'm showing up authentic, now the people around me, so now this is where we get into community. The people around me can now hold me accountable. So I didn't say this before, but like for each pillar, there's a different IWA t-shirt. We're wearing the logo and the hashtag, but each of the pillars have their own t-shirt.
Nice.
So with the accountability t-shirt, it says accountable to God, self, and family. Or not said that wrong. Self, family, and community, I think is what it says. But the point is that, you know, I can't hold you accountable if I'm not willing to do my own work. Like, really, shut up. You know what I mean? If you're not doing,
I mean, yeah.
for real. Like, you know, like get out. I think Ayala Vazant talks about staying in your lane, driving your car. Right. Stay in your lane, driving your car, especially, and we're all doing our work.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have to realize that you're not in relationship with just yourself.
Hello.
Right. So as African people, because we're talking about African-centered concepts, you're not in relationship with yourself. You're in continuous relationship with yourself, with your family. That's your unit. That's your clan. That's who you are. Who you belong to, and your community. You belong to them as well. So now that you can show up, I can show up authentically as Omi Shegun or as Omi. Now, TiTi, you can hold me responsible to who I authentically am. And when you see me drift into someplace else, you can be like, hey, sis.
Yeah.
Because I love you.
For sure.
And because I know authentically who you are.
Right.
This is some bullshit.
Come on.
You know what I mean? But that can only happen when you've been honest. When we have both been honest with ourselves. Because there's a lack of honesty in our community and a lack of, I think, I'm gonna call it skill in communicating.
Yeah.
It's impossible. It's very difficult to have those conversations. I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's very difficult.
It's challenging.
So we have a whole bunch of fear, right? We start nutting up when it comes to those difficult conversations with each other, because I don't want nobody to call me on my shit, and I don't know if it's safe to call you on your shit, right? So we just gonna walk around in shit. And we don't think that that's the EY lifestyle.
No, that's not what pushes the culture forward. It's actually what holds it up.
Absolutely. So, I mean, imagine conversations with men and women in the same room talking about this shit.
Right.
I'm here for it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Because once we can have that level of communication, it makes it a whole lot easier to have personal relationships with each other, being in business with each other,
absolutely,
being
trust,
in marriages and, you know, family building type of situation, community, you know. But if we're not able to communicate with each other in that way, we can't do none of that shit.
Right. And so, like,
not effective.
Exactly. Right. You can try, but you won't get very far. You won't get very far. And, and so we envision, when you talk about what do we envision 5, 10, 15 years, 20 years down the road, we envision a world where we have had some of the difficult conversation, and we're not talking about, yes, on a local level, but we want to have this conversation diasporically. I don't know how that's going to happen. Heck, me to actually think that, you know, like that's something that we can pull off. I don't know, but I'm aligned with my ancestors. We definitely going to do it.
And it will.
you know.
And I'm going to be there to document it.
I say.
Because I have. And I will continue to do.
I say. So, I mean, like, it's exciting to me because I know my own story, right? And even in knowing my own story and also other brothers and sisters that I have in my space, like, there's a level of healing that we need, and I don't think it's out of our reach.
No.
I don't think when people be like, I don't know how we're going to heal the Black community. Let me tell you how.
Listen.
Right? We're going to start having honest, open dialogue with each other. We're going to start learning that the stuff that happened in America also happened in South Africa. It's also happening in Nigeria, also happening in Brazil. Like, we have been living the same story over and over again. It's time for us to understand what our similarities are.
Absolutely.
And focus on that instead of our differences every day.
Hello.
So, I mean, those are the kind of conversations that we want to have.
I love it.
Those are the types of moments and experiences that we want people to have. So now that we're aligned with our ancestors, we're aware of who we are showing up authentically, we are able to hold each other accountable to that authenticity of being who you are at all times. Now we can talk about what we're going to achieve together, right? So that's that last A is achievement. And then when we are able to talk about our achievement, like this, getting this, yesterday was a perfect example. Yesterday we got together to celebrate the initiation of our children into E5, and as a result also, celebrating 1541.
The space, yeah.
And we didn't call it that. I did call it a celebration, but what was important to me is that we acknowledged the achievement and came together to kind of mark it. And that was like, for me, I had such a good time yesterday because I was around people who I feel understand who I authentically am, and continue to support that, who I can do the same for, right?
Sure.
So we were in a safe, that's what a safe space feels like.
For sure.
Right? Because you don't have to pretend shit. I'm not being pretentious, I'm not doing shit, I'm being myself, and nobody's threatened by that.
Yeah.
Like, imagine more spaces where you get to be yourself and nobody's judging you for it.
It's beautiful.
I'm looking forward. Right. And yesterday was an example of that.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important for us to always celebrate the achievements.
Absolutely.
Like, we be doing big shit and then skirt past it and be like, like, I'm on to the next thing.
Because we're working on more big shit. That's all that is.
But we need to take a moment to
Absolutely.
acknowledge that and
yes.
as a community. You know what I mean?
Yes.
As people who hold each other accountable, like, let's acknowledge that. Let's continue to support each other.
We have to do that because that's a ritual and a prayer.
Another one of my favorite words.
Yeah, man, it's a ritual and a prayer to ensure that your business space, your intention, your idea, your vision is going to do well.
Yeah, and I mean, I just thinking about yesterday, man. Like, the vibe and the energy was real. Like, there was nobody here that I didn't think was straight up happy for us.
Love it.
Like, I want to create more of that.
Yeah.
Every day of my
and
life.
you will. IWA is bringing it, baby.
I say.
IWA is bringing it. Let everybody know again where they can find you on social media. You giving them the address. Do the whole rundown.
All of it. Okay, so you can find me personally, so my personal page is Omi Pennick. And then the page for IWA for Instagram is the IWA brand. IWA spelled IWA. The IWA brand. On Facebook, it's IWA Lifestyle. And then online, it's www.iwalifestyle.com.
That's where you can find her.
Follow
and what's the address?
1541 Ralph David Abernathy.
Come on.
I'm like super excited. Now, there ain't nothing in here just yet.
Yeah,
Our grand opening is in June.
Grand opening is in June.
We coming. But it's going to be, we have great plans for the summer. The summer's going to be super dope.
Love it.
Because we're going to create space for us to come together. And we know, like, in coming together, we'll be able to generate that energy. You know what I mean? To get people to start to have these conversations. Because we're coming to you with the conversations. and the harder conversations. But we want people to, to also feel free. You know what I mean? So we want to create spaces. We're going to do a lot of fun things in the summertime.
Oh, that sounds dope. So y'all stay tuned. Make sure you following EY Lifestyle Brand. Make sure you following Omi Pennick. You make sure you following at TiTi Talks.
Yes.
So you can get the scoop on all that's going to be going down. You got to let EY Lifestyle dress you for the summer, yo. Yes. Reach out to them. Let them dress you for the summer. They're going to have the exclusive stuff. The stuff that ain't nobody else rocking. They'll custom make it just for you.
Just for you. To fit all your curves. All the special uniqueness, the authenticity of your body.
Listen, I'm going to be flossing like a motherfucking dolphin. You hear what I'm saying?